What's up, YouTube? This is DBZ439 coming at you with another deck profile for the new April 2016 ban list. Unfortunately, right now I have Infernoids, but they got wrecked because of one hit on the list, which was Reasoning. So this deck needs to basically bounce back. So this is my take on the deck, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. So let's get on to the deck profile. First off, we have one Anunku. To special summon a Noku, you need to banish 3 Infernoid monsters in grave, and if you do, he's basically a dark hole. So he pops all monsters on board, including yourself, including your monsters. And once per turn during either player's turn, you can sack a monster to negate the activation of a spell or trap card, and if you do, banish it. So that's really helpful. Next up, for the other big Infernoid, we have double Deviati. Basically, the Heavy Storm. You have to banish 3 Infernoids from grave, and if you do, you basically get a Heavy Storm effect. Just just pop all spells and traps on the field, including yourself. And her effect is like once per turn during either player's turn. When a monster effect would activate, you can sack a monster and negate the activation of that monster effect, and if you do, banish it. So that's really helpful against monarchs and stuff. That's it for every Inferno that's above level 8. For the level 8s, and from 5 to 8s, we have triple Otando. Excuse me. To summon him, you need to banish two Infernoids in grave, and the reason why I run him at 3 is because you can go into rank 8 place, so you need him at 3. And also, if he destroys a monster by battle and sends it to a graveyard, he can attack once again in a row. Also, during either player's turn, you can sack a monster and banish 1 card in opponent's grave. So now with Draco Pals kind of out of the picture, if this card can get its effect to attack twice more often. So I think you need him at 3. And next up, you have triple Systemus. Basically, he's your enabler for rank 7 plays because he's level 7, and you need to banish 2 Infernoids in grave. And also at the end of the battle phase, if this card attacks a monster and survives, you can banish 1 card on the field. And what makes that effect so good is that banish effect is non-targeting, so you can banish a Dark Destroyer, for example, but you need to attack into one of their monsters and has to live until the end of the battle phase. Also, during either player's turn, you can sack a monster and banish 1 card in opponent's grave. All right, so that's it from the level 5 to 8s that require 2 banishes in grave. Everything else from here on out requires 1 banish. So we have the triple Petrulia, basically the MST of the deck, and he's a level 4, so lets you sink into usually into your level 8s, but also lets you overlay into rank 4. Then you have the triple Harmer deck, basically pops a monster. It doesn't matter if it's face up or face down, but it pops it, and um, but it targets, which is unfortunate. And you need to run 3 because it helps you also go into Omega. Next up, only the double Entra. This card is really good against Burning Abyss because it can bounce Dante and stuff. Basically, bounce any face-up card your opponent controls. Um, but it's just 1 banish. And for the last of the banishing Infernoids, you run 1 Pure Mace. A lot of people don't like this card, but I like it just because it's a level 1. And if you ever need to use Decatron to get into it, it's good. It's basically what it does. It targets a face down card on the field and shuffles it back to deck. And the best part is your opponent can't respond. So if you try to I don't know, spin their face down bottomless or something, just for example, they can't respond or anything like that. Or torrential. It's a really good card. I like this card a lot. Okay, so for the last Infernoid, probably arguably the best Infernoid is triple Decatron. So Decatron is the only one that doesn't require banishing to special summon itself. When it's normal, it can be normal summoned, but when it's normal summon or special summon, usually through reasoning, monster gate, rekindling, there's a lot of options. But when it's special summon or normal summon, you get to send any Infernoid from deck to grave. It gains the level of the monster you sent, and it gains its effect. So it's really good, toolboxing, whatever situation you need. You send I don't know, for example, Deviati or Anunku, or he's a tuner, so also he can make a lot of synchro plays. So usually what I like to do turn one is if I can go into Infinity, not Infinity, Psyframe Lord Omega, I will. So depending on whether or not I have Harmonic or Petrilia in hand, you go normal, send either Harmonic or Petrilia from deck, and special summon the other one from hand by banishing the one you sent to grave using hit this, and then you sink into Omega, which is really good. All right, so that's it for the Infernoids. For the monster count, to round off the monsters, we have Triple Raiden, basically your mill engine of the deck. He's also a tuner. He's a great instant fusion target, so let you go into Omega. Also surgical charge the Light Brigade. And for the last monster, we have one EMAG Turtle. This was a new addition due to Reasoning getting hit, because without Reasoning, you kind of need more defense in the deck. And he's also level 4, so it makes rank 4 plays, and you can bring him back with Norden if you need to. So that's it for the monsters. Now for the spells, we have double instant fusion. I only have one Norden because of the ban list, but you just want to see this as quickly as possible because you want to get into Cypher Lord Omega, and you could probably mill the other one. So that's why you need two for consistency. And then you have the double charge to search your Raidens. Also another mill engine of the deck to speed up through the deck. Then you have double Twin Twister. This card is so free in this deck because Infernoids in Grave are just like Infernoids in hand. So this card's really good. And last of the two of those, you have double Void Seer, basically the Forbidden Lance of the deck. So that's really nice. And also, if it's in Grave, you can banish it to prevent the destruction of one of your Infernoids by card effects, even if it's your card effect. So if you do Dark Hole, if you do Anoku, you can save one of your Infernoids using Void Seer. So that's really nice. Okay, so that's it for the 2 of spells. On to the 1 of spells, which this deck has a lot of. You have one Regeki, one Burial, one Reasoning, the one Monster Gate, the one for one, and the one Rekindling. This wasn't here before because of I used to run triple Reasoning, but this card is really really good. Like it depends on how many like Decatrons you have in Grave when you resolve this, but this card is nuts. Like getting into Decatron again, getting the mills, and it's just this card's really good. It's underrated. And last off, we only run one trap to round off the main deck, and it's Soft Scolding. All right, guys. So that's it for main deck. Let's just breeze through the side deck. We have one Fortress and double Cyber Dragon for the Cosmo matchup. We have one End of Anubis for like the Burning Abyss matchup. The one Chaos Hunter for the Mirror match. Spell Cancer for any like spell heavy decks. Then we have the third Twin Twister in the side. The double Dark Hole for decks that spam swarm board like real fast. Double System Down for Cosmo. Double Mistake for anything that searches a lot. And finally, double Grand Horn for pendulum decks if they become a thing, which I'm expecting them to. That mechanic is so good. All right, that's it for the side. Onto the extra deck. We have only for the XZs we have only one rank 8, number 62. The reason I have him is he's a 4K beater, so he gets over stuff like Dark Destroyer, which is really nice. For the rank 7s, we have one Big Eye, one Red Ice Flare Metal. For the rank 4s, we have the Utopia Engine, 139, and one The Lightning. The card's really good against Cosmos again, prevents them from floating. And then for the last of the rank 4s, we have one Castel, one Abyss Dweller. As for the XZs, for the Synchros, we have one Bish Balkan. I like this card a lot. One of the few decks that can actually run him. Basically, you make him with Decatron and like a Tondo, or you could even make him with like Decatron and like Anoku or Devyati. It's really good. Just whenever it has a lot of ways to make it, even though it's like level 12. And basically, what it does is once per turn during either player's turn, you can special summon tokens on both sides of the field, but you have to summon as many as you can on both sides, and they have to be equal on both sides. And if you do, this card can't attack for the rest of the turn. This card can't be destroyed by card effects, so it's immune to stuff like Dark Destroyer, but it can be targeted. And also, it gains 1,000 attack for each monster on board. So this card can potentially go up to 10k, so it's really good for sealing game. So I like this card a lot. People don't see it coming. For the other level 12 synchro, we have one Star Eater. It's easy. You just go like Cease to Miss and like Decatron, send the harm deck. Probably the best extra deck card is Cypher Lord Omega because you get to recycle your banished stuff. For the level 7s, we have one Black Rose, one Meteor Burst. Good for Burning Abyss. 1/6 is we have the one Gaia Knight. He's a non-effect, so that's why he's there. And for the last extra card, we have one Norden for your Douglas if you can target. Alright, guys, so that's it for my deck profile. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. So, like I said, unfortunately, the deck got hit because Reasoning got hit to 1. But I still think this deck can compete just because, like, it's slower, but it can still have, like, really aggressive, like, OTK plays and really good, like, extra deck plays. So don't count this deck out. I still think it'll be really good in the meta. So, thanks again for watching, and have a nice day.